Corbin, is there a bomb?
No, it's PT-141.
The uncut version. Happy Halloweeny. Anyways, guys, my name is Virgil, and this is Dr. Jesse Haggard, and we're going to start our episode with
PT-141.
PT-141. Happy Halloweeny. So, doctor, tell me what PT-141 actually is.
Well, it's kind of our new fifth element theme here because it's unlike anything else that's on the market. And it is used for low sex drive in women, and that's what it's FDA approved for, but actually it works in men too.
Interesting.
Yeah, so they were testing it on the original receptors were for melanocyte receptors. So this was a product that was developed to make people tan. And it was one of those stories where they were trying to do one thing and then all the subjects in the studies started noticing that they had increased sexual desire.
Yeah.
So, which is not an uncommon story in medicine. I mean, that's the story of Viagra. You know, they were trying to make a heart medicine and then all the subjects reported that they noticed it was going somewhere else, right? So, and then they realized, oh, sex sells, and they decided to make sex medicine instead of erectile dysfunction medicine instead of heart medicine.
And being tanned.
And being tanned. So on this one, they were doing the research, the Melanotan II, and they did this in like the early 2000s. And as they were trying to get people to have a medicine that they could just make them tan so they wouldn't have to have UV exposure and whatnot, but same thing, it had an unusual side effect, or an unexpected side effect. And then they started to develop it in 2007. They were trying to develop it into a nasal spray because it didn't work very well when you take it orally. And the nasal spray had a few problems. The main one was it increased people's blood pressure too much. So then they scrapped that in like 2008 and they started working on it as an injection, and they found that the injection actually is safer. I mean, as a drug manufacturer, so you can get away with not doing an injection, you try to do that.
Yeah, but I have a question. So you said injection. This isn't an injection into the schlong, is it?
No, so this is also, again, for women too. So, so this is a subcutaneous injection, very common injection, just like with the insulin syringe type injection. And it, just into the sub-Q fat areas, your stomach, back of the arm, the buttocks. And then from there, it usually lasts anywhere from 1 to 3 days is what it's on the label. But some people have reported longer than 3 days.
So Jesse, I have a confession. So I may have or may not have accidentally took one of them out of your shelf and maybe borrowed it and tried it. And oh my God, let me tell you what happened with the story that I had. I actually maybe have gotten one for my husband and maybe accidentally for me. And we just want to try it out because let's to be honest, we all got Viagra. Not every man's got a Viagra or Cialis, but we had to try it. And let me tell you, it was a head rush all up in my face. All right. I felt like, whoo, it was a rush, and it did last probably about it lasted a couple days, but what happened with us is we had a poor little guy that, my boyfriend and I wanted to play with as a little puppet, and that poor guy never came back. Sorry. I won't say names, but sorry, but it does work.
It tends to work for most people. So back to it, though, the way that we're kind of saying this is like something unique, like the fifth element, is there are lots of erectile dysfunction medicines on the market. What's interesting about this one, those are designed for the circulation of, the penis and stuff, whereas this medication actually works on the brain. So it increases arousal and desire.
Oh, wow.
Like the wanting and desire.
So could this drug make me straight? Because I'm straight gay, bitch. I'm just saying. Let's be honest.
But this is really interesting. So they are doing preliminary trials because it's not approved for men, but they're doing preliminary trials with men and combining it with these other erectile dysfunction drugs like Viagra and Cialis.
Okay.
But the company that developed it, when they went to do an FDA approval, I think it was a very smart financial decision. They first sought approval in women with low sex drive because the market analysis, I mean, there's already several medications that are focused on erectile dysfunction, looking at the circulation of, basically the hardware working kind of thing versus this one almost acts like on the software. Do you want it? How's that desire for you?
Now, are there any side effects with it? Is there any?
Well, you already mentioned one, like a rushing of the flushing of the face.
But I wasn't complaining. I loved it. I was like, it's not working.
Yeah, so I have them up here. So the nausea is the number one side effect. It occurs in about 40% of people.
Okay.
It tends to last for an hour or two. I have a story about that one. One of the people I know that took it, one of the ladies, she said she was vomiting multiple times over the course of a couple hours. And then after the effects kicked in and she was able to not feel so nauseous and enjoy the medication, what it's for, she said, wow, if it does that, I'll totally vomit for a couple hours in order to have that. So I mean, that's a pretty interesting testimony on how great it works, enough to vomit for a couple hours and say that was worth it. Some of the other side effects, so we have nausea, about 40% experience, the flushing, about 20% experience, actually, I'm looking at it. And then always with an injection, there's always possibility of an injection site reaction. You nick a vessel or something and have a bruise. And headache and was experienced by 11% and vomiting by 4.8% of people. So those are your main side. There's like a few really, really rare ones, but those are the main ones.
So a couple questions here. So it's FDA approved for women, but not for men yet?
Correct, but because it's an FDA approved drug, doctors can prescribe it off label and not have legal problems for it.
Okay, so they can prescribe it to men as well?
They can, okay. And again, they've already done phase 3 clinical trials on men, so we have lots of safety data and efficacy data that it does work on men.
So is it actually good for your health, or is it just for sex?
It doesn't seem to have any other uses. It definitely doesn't make you tan.
Well, it definitely will keep your cardiovascular up. For sure.
It might help motivate exercise.
Yes.
Yes, it could have
with
that
pelvic
effect.
thrusts and squats.
But with that, I think it's a medication that both men and women just don't know as much. I mean, I would say, wouldn't you, that Viagra, Cialis, these are household names.
Yeah, but you know what? I'll tell you what I hate about Viagra and Cialis. They give you heartburn, dude. And I don't like that. That shit, like, I can't stand heartburn. I mean, that means I'm getting old, but it sucks.
Yeah, I've tried Viagra, and I got super dizzy and lightheaded.
Yes!
And nothing happened after that.
Yes. Yeah, you went to bed.
Yeah. So, but yeah, this one definitely has a nausea component. And one thing that I've heard is doctors that have prescribed this that I know, they said that they recommend patients to eat something like within an hour, before taking it.
Yes, I did.
And that can help with the nausea.
Yes.
So.
Now, where would people get something like this? Is it a prescription that they have to get it by, or like through a doctor, or can they just get it over the counter?
So this is a prescription medication. It is commercially available. There are other formulations out there as well that compounding pharmacies are now getting into, but because it's an FDA-approved drug, they can utilize that as a compounding pharmacy.
And you guys, I also hear, hey, you guys, I want to hear your story after you try it, okay? Well, that's our episode for today. I just want to say thank you for watching our show, and once again, happy Halloweeny. It's time for you to go. This is it.
Follow my podcast on drjessehaggard.com.